there's no true measure to detect how mentally stable someone is until symptoms usually show. Do you get it? Because we're all walking around. You ask people, how are you? Like, oh, I'm good and all that, but things are not going as they're supposed to be upstairs, and eventually they break out, and people begin to show symptoms of sorrow, depressive states, and all of that.
We've marginalized mental health to madness, like
Exactly.
psychosis.
That's what I was going to talk
so
about.
so that's why,
But the things that have to do, the people who commit murder because of mental health are not the ones.
No.
Exactly.
Not the ones with
No.
psychosis.
Yeah.
And that is our problem. We are not talking about it enough. And even if we are talking about it, it's like we've segregated it to the
To
physical
psychosis.
psychosis.
Symptoms, exactly. Hello guys, welcome to yet another exciting episode on your favorite podcast, Inner the Whole World. It's been a long time we had this gentleman on here. So for those of you who don't know him, his name is Nana Kwesi, and he's one of our frequent guests who helps us discuss social issues and trending stuff. So today, we have something nice for you. So we'll leave it to our host for the day to take it from there.
Paparazzi. So,
Yeah.
mental health.
Wow.
I think there's growing awareness about mental health, like on social media, from media organizations, in hospitals and communities. But is it enough, you think, Fifi?
I think it's not enough because it's more like I feel it's not being tackled from a preventive angle. It's rather like, I mean, they are publicizing it, but there's no true measure to detect how mentally stable someone is until symptoms usually show. Do you get it? Because we're all walking around. You ask people, how are you? Like, oh, I'm good and all that, but things are not going as they're supposed to be upstairs, and eventually they break out, and people begin to show symptoms of sorrow, depressive states, and all of that. So it's being preached here in the UK. It's one of the things that's heavily being invested in, but it's still a long way, possibly because of the actions that the people we are trying to protect decide to get into.
Nana Kwesi, what's your thoughts?
Mental health, depression, about down.
Yeah.
You see, for mental health, from where we are coming from, it is not even preached.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because imagine you going to school, like from your primary level to your junior high level to your senior high level. I don't remember you even went through a stage of seeing a doctor for your mental health.
No.
Through to the university level to your nursing level. I don't remember.
Some universities in Ghana have like
No, I'm just
psychologists.
I'm coming. Like I'm using the general thing, the general terms. Like so basically from your primary level to your senior high school level, no mental health it should be addressed, right? And one of the main focuses on mental health, and where one of the main places where mental health starts from is from your junior high level to your senior high level. You understand? Because in your primary level, you are with your parents, you are going through certain stages of life. In your junior high level, you are trying to see your adolescent stages of life. Things start changing from yourself. In your senior high level, most of the people try to come back to boarding school, where we take into consideration, or we take certain attitude, we take certain behavior. That's where we develop mental health. Because most people start drinking, start smoking, start doing so many social vices from senior high school level, you understand? So by the time the person gets to the university level, it has already been part and parcel of.
And there's no one to support.
You understand? It has been very typical. So imagine me coming from my primary level, junior high level, senior high level, without not even knowing nothing about my mental health. And I get to the university level, 100, 200, 300. It becomes normal. Later, it becomes like, I'm depressed. And that's how
it escalates.
You understand?
And there's one thing we are still battling with in our part of the world, even overseas, the stigma attached to mental health.
Yeah.
People are not able to come out enough because of the stigma.
I'm not cutting you off. Talking about stigma about mental health. Most people are mad. Mad. But few people are walking on the street.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So taking on the percentage of the people suffering from mental health who are walking on the street to those who are suffering from mental health, who are dressed in suit and tie, who are dressed in kaftan, who are dressed in very nice attire. I can probably say, from research tells you, 20% of the people are the ones walking on the streets.
True. I agreed. We've marginalized mental health to madness, like psychosis.
Exactly. That's what I was going to talk about.
Marginalize it.
Yeah.
But the things that have to do, the people who commit murder because of mental health are not the ones on the streets.
Exactly.
Not the ones with psychosis.
Yeah.
And that is our problem. We are not talking about it enough. And even if we are talking about it, it's like we've segregated it to the physical psychosis.
Exactly.
And it's about time parents understand that your ward or your child can be depressed, can have a problem of mental health issues. But you see, it's so funny that imagine going to your parent to tell you, I am depressed. They might feel you are too...
You're too young, like, what is your problem?
What's your problem?
What's your problem?
And that's your problem. Everybody will ask you, what's your problem? You see, and we have to let people know that mental health is not only about you having a problem in life.
Yeah. And I am looking at it from the angle of, you hear loads of issues about people getting into substance abuse and all that.
Yeah.
But if you take your time to have conversations with people who abuse drugs and all that, first and foremost, their mental state is compromised because people are taking it to get their mind off troubles.
Yes.
To
People
compensate, just to escape reality.
Yeah.
Do you get it? Some sort of coping mechanism.
True.
And then they get into these things, which further now depress the mind. And eventually people, end up with psychosis and, schizo and all of those bits. So I feel that's why I was saying that the focus on the preventive measures is not good enough. So like Chrissy said, you should be able to detect, and when people tell you they are not okay, really be interested in why they're not okay and see if you can help. Because that is why people are ending up in stuff that the most prominent cause. If you ask someone right now, give me two causes of mental health disorder, you hear substance abuse. You'd hear you would hear other things that are not are quite obvious, everyone knows, but the very intricate ones that start from childhood trauma, that starts from people not knowing what to do with their lives after school, that come from relationship ending. We don't see that.
And do you know sometimes even your environment can make you just depressed like that.
It happens.
It happens. Just your environment, your environment can just make you depressed. And even I feel even going to a particular place every point in time for a period of time makes you so depressed.
You get used to it.
You get used to it.
You get it.
And see, mental health and depression is something we are not even talking about, like 2% from where we are coming from, or from where I'm coming from. We are not even advocating for mental health issues unless the person comes out and explodes.
Being born in Ghana itself brings you.
It's a whole mental health.
you are prone to.
Yeah.
Because the pressures, like
and everything.
As a youth in Ghana now, it's just crazy.
And your leaders will even make you mentally unwell. Imagine going to school. It's me. I feel. Do you know me? I feel mental health issues. It starts from our schools, from our primary schools. See, the moment you start doing that, you are first, second, third positions in class. It starts creating people deprived.
So let's talk about school.
It's
taking
true.
school into perspective for the next 4 minutes.
Let me give you a scenario. We are 3 in class. You are first. I'm second. I'm always last. Automatically, when I see you people going, I feel I'm not part of you. I go back home. My mommy will tell me, wabon, shekojo, shefifi, sheama.
In English terms.
In English terms, I'll tell you.
You are dumb.
No, you're dumb. No, but sometimes I just want to give you the code. You understand? And I feel from that age, from that scenario, you feel you are not good. You are just good for nothing.
Worthless.
You are worthless, because these are my people, these are my mates, and see how they are performing, and see me. So from that beginning stage, you feel you are derived, like you feel you are deprived, and you feel you want to move to another scenario. So imagine you meeting and Yah tells you that, oh, you can use this drug, it will help you to also be
enhance yourself.
Become smart. Like when you start taking, people are introduced to it, say it opens your mind.
You understand?
You become more wise.
So imagine this time, I feel like to take it so as to prevent my parents from talking shit about me, from telling me that I am good for nothing, and even certain words some parents use for their children. You think you are just saying it, but as the young age, as a young child, as an adolescent, anything you tell the person takes into consideration when he's asleep or like, or when he's just alone by himself. So
exactly. That's
people try to
most.
do things so that people will appreciate them.
Yeah.
So our school is not the schooling system or the education system is not doing enough to address it. They rather compound the problem by system,
it's just making it stressful.
Just focus on, because people have got other talent aside.
And the schooling system in Africa, in some part of Africa, is more of just academics. Because you can be in a school when I am good in art, I'm good in skills, I'm good in football, I'm good in other things.
Yep.
The very first day a teacher finds out that I am good in this and I am not good in maths, I'm not good in science, the teacher feels I am dumb.
Unfortunately,
they stop you from even pursuing that line of passion and try to focus.
We are in a country where they used to think those who write with their left were dumb.
Yeah, you'll be forced to actually
write with
you understand? You're forced to actually write with your right.
And we on that point we forget to remember that there's a part of the brain that controls that side. So indirectly, you are shutting that part of the brain, telling the person, let's Fifi, let's talk about our parents and our home, family, influence on mental health.
I think Nana Kwesi has pretty much talked about, most of the points I would have mentioned, but like we rarely discussing, it's about identifying the triggers, okay, that put people into an unstable state of mind. Okay, so like we've been talking about abuse, okay, trauma that people go through, and this sort of competition in school and all that. As soon as you detect that someone is out of their usual state, it naturally means that up there, they're not good. Like, you have a friend, always gay, always happy, always, all of that bit. And one time you notice that, no, this person is a bit withdrawn today. Then it tells you that person is not functioning at 100. Obviously, there are people who are very good at masking their problems. So they would be crying and be, sorrowful deep within them. But on the outside, they want everyone to see that they are doing okay. If you pay attention, you would be able to detect some of these things. Oh, and I feel like, and you made a very good example with, people not feeling belonged and then getting into bad company because they feel belong there. We should be deliberate about, professing good things and positive things if you're looking at it from a parent perspective, and being able to identify things that we do that put our children or put kids in unstable situations mentally and take it from there, because that is how they get into the most obvious causes, the fast track routes, which includes drugs and drinking and all of those bits.
So there's something on social media now. There's this brother of ours who, and we've got a sister as well, who almost every time there's an issue related to their mental health, and it gets to a point where it becomes just too much. The things they say, the things they do. Do you think there are some people who also capitalize on saying that I've got mental health problems, and then they get away with some things, like they say anything or they abuse people online? Because this lady mentions the names of prominent people because she's had so and so encounters with them, which defames them. Do you think there are people who also have mental health issues, but because of the way they go about things when they are having an episode, it causes society to stereotype them, and at the end of the day, society doesn't really take them seriously or doesn't take mental health seriously? Do you think it could be a cause of the way some people go about it?
See, talking about cause, you see, you can't justify somebody who's mentally unstable.
How?
You can't justify in the sense that we might be sitting here and it just flips like that. You understand? So I don't want to bug them. Neither do I want to tell them what they are doing is bad. You understand? Because we don't know what they are going through at a particular time. And
But to insult people, come online, insult people, it makes it.
And no, coming online to insult people is bad. For me, those ones are bad. But you don't know what triggers those actions. You see, in every action, there's a reaction. So I don't know. I'm not here to talk about certain things I don't have proof about. Just that I can only condemn that coming online to talk about certain things, certain private life. For me, I don't agree with those stuffs. You understand? But I don't know what really transpired, what really triggered for them to just come out. Because if you have been with somebody who has been depressed, who has bipolar, you understand? It is not their it is not their wish. Neither is it what they want. It just happens.
But I don't think rather than seeking help.
No, you see, seeking help, you know, you are on drugs. The moment or a day you don't take your drugs, it bounces back. You understand?
You see, even for people with bipolar, there's always a lucid interval. There's a period where you are normal for a bit before you go into either depression or mania. So in that, and that's a very good point that like Francis made. You should know that you're not feeling well and ask for help. Do you get it? In the case of this guy we're talking about who is all over the news at the moment, I feel like people are enjoying his state and what he's putting out there because it seems funny and all that, rather than helping him to solve the problem and get out of the situation. Same way with the other lady. Because she put stuff out there, people are, the generation, they are interested in nonsense. So they're like, wow, look at the boobs, look at this. They are enjoying that rather than advocating for these people to actually get the help they need, which is unfortunate.
It's very sad. People take advantage of them too. For this lady you're trying to talk about, she's one of the most intelligent girls you ever meet.
When she's lucid and you have a conversation with her.
She's one of the most intelligent girls. She's one of the most intelligent girls.
It's bad. Bloggers will take advantage of these things and be posting and earning from someone else's plight rather than advocating that, But
so going forward, what as youth, what do we expect? What do we expect from society? What do we expect from parents, from school, from governmental organizations, from our governments? What policies do we think, when are put in place, would help with mental? Because in the age where technology advances and where we are getting into the age where children at a very young age are exposed to so many things online and they have information to this kind of things, mental health issues will become more. What can we do to curb this?
So there are, I think when it comes to issues of mental disorders, I would go for it from the angle that there are intrinsic and extrinsic factors. Okay. So intrinsic, there are people that their brain is diseased one way or the other. They have no idea, like a case of someone I know, the person had HIV and eventually HIV encephalopathy, all those things kicked in. They be, psychosis, blah, blah, blah. These are things out of your control. They happen, and when it happens, people should be around to help. And then there are the extrinsic factors where your environment, like the things we talked about, people, you noticing that people are not okay and you being able to reach out and help them. There are here in the UK, I've noticed a number of charities set up helplines where it's anonymous. You just call the number, no one knows who you are and all that.
Tell them your
You
problem.
you call, start talking.
They'll listen to you.
They'll just listen and offer you the advice. I feel like that is one thing people should be interested in, because sometimes people struggle to open up with people they know. So if I don't know you, I don't care. I can just vent whatever is in there and seek the help that you have for me.
What do you think, Nana? Chris, what would you wish could be done?
See, for me, what I wish could be done is to start from the home. You understand? Before you take your child out of your home, say positive things to your children. You understand? Let them know you are not good in this. You are better in that. Or
And
you are
it's
best
okay.
in that. It's okay. So that the influence, so that the external influence of people don't get to them. Imagine you being rejected at home and being accepted outside. Where do you feel you belong? You belong outside.
Yeah.
So imagine your parent telling you are good for nothing, and you come outside and your friends tell you, oh, chairman, oh, you are good. Every time you want to be with your friends. So now you have developed another family in your friends where you feel what your friends say are right. So then you meet friends where you are good. At home you are bad. So now you are with us. You feel very okay with us. So we started doing drugs. Because you feel this is where you belong.
Yeah.
And you start moving away from your family. So at a very young age, you see most of the people suffering from mental health, most of the people suffering from this mental health disorder are from the ranges of, I can say, from 10 to 30. Most of the people, they are very young, in the sense that they felt rejected from home and they belong to a family.
I think for most of these people, what they want is someone to listen to them,
Yes.
and then help them.
Help them.
Sometimes, even if you've not got a direct help, just listen to
Listen
them.
to them,
Talk
yeah.
to them. Get their mind.
Signpost them to where
Signpost
you
them
need
to
to.
where.
Because
Okay.
I quite remember I had a one-on-one with someone suffering from mental health. She came to me, we started talking, like, and from what she was saying, it wasn't her fault. She felt rejected at home because all her siblings were in school and they were doing well in school, and she wasn't doing good, and she wanted to go and do home econs, and her parents were like, no, you can't be in my house and be. So then at that stage she felt rejected. She got into drugs. She met a boy and the boy took her to this drugs process because, and she later felt she belonged to that place, because that place she felt calm, she felt she was okay, she was living her life, until now it's setting and she became very, very bad and everything. So then it's a whole thing. It's all about education, your environment. But for me personally, maybe we will surely go back and we'll just advocate, and what our advocacy will be more of, we can't tackle every cause of mental health disorder, but then the basic ones we could tackle in the sense that let's educate people, let's educate parents. For me, we have to go back and talk about parents. Let's educate the parents on how they can help their children, because they are the first line of contact with their children. The first line of contact with every individual is your parents.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. We can't talk about mental health enough. The conversation will keep going
Because
and going, but
if
we
we
can.
are supposed to check about we three.
I don't. When was the last time? Last time anybody thought any?
No, it's not about.
Sometimes we feel we are okay, but
no. For
you
me
know,
personally, if you have to check about we three, that if we are stable, I'm sure we might not even get one stable person.
no.
Fifi, are you stable?
It's true.
No, Fifi, are you
Because
stable?
You see
I look
people
stable.
But
online.
you look stable, but you're not stable.
You know,
Yeah,
sometimes,
you look okay. For me personally, I feel I'm not stable. Like,
sometimes.
because certain things triggers you and you feel
Do you know the things that we take for granted?
Yeah.
Sometimes they are warning signs.
Yeah.
I've watched people online on podcasts and other things and said, "Oh, I went to see my therapist." You wonder that
Why
this person
would-
is doing well. This person is the one advising us on business, and the person is going to see the therapist.
therapist.
The fuck am I doing here? Why am I not seeking help for something? You understand?
yeah.
So we take certain things for granted, and at the end of the day, seek help. Seek help when you feel that.
seek
Or
help.
talk to somebody.
Talk to someone. The first thing
Yeah.
is the first point of seeking help
Yeah.
is just talk to someone.
Someone. Yeah. Guys,
someone.
just
You can talk to me.
put your thoughts in the comment section, and we want to have an experience, or we want to talk to people who have battled with mental health and how they overcame those
And
situations.
how we can help them, because we are also coming back to help mental health
Yeah.
issues. You understand?
If you are a therapist, a psychologist, or someone who is a specialist in this line,
yeah,
just
come
reach
on,
out to us. We want to speak to you and then
we want you to
educate
come on board
our audience.
for us.
Yeah. Thanks so much for staying tuned with us till this point. Subscribe if it's your first time, and like, share, tell someone about FNF Catch Dialogues. And until we meet in the next episode, it's peace.